Hey everyone. So today I actually was thinking of talking to you guys about a new book which I found in my library. So I generally check out this nearby library just like a few kilometers away from my house. So great that I have one library beside me because there are like really good books there on business and general technology stuff and like many other books which are offered. So during my search in the library, I found this nice book called How Money Works, which is written by DK. It's a very famous company. So if you can also want to check out the website, you can just go on to www.dk.com to go and check out this book called How Money Works. Let me just show the front cover. So that's how it looks. You might just take a photo of it maybe and search it. So it's a quite famous book which I came across in the library. And before even buying it, I just went and checked out the blurb. So it's quite interesting to see because all that they're doing is in this book, they're teaching all the necessary stuff that pretty much like an MBA student even needs. Like let's say if you're if you're like a person who's doing post grad or MBA, I'm pretty sure the knowledge you accumulate in this book would be quite familiar with what you're learning in the actual curriculum of the course. So I would recommend many people for like educating themselves on what money is and how it works by reading this book called How Money Works. So I also actually read a bit of it. So the first chapter talks about the money basics, which just goes around like the basics of money, like where did money originate from, where did the exchange of like basically the main purpose of money started way back in the BCE time, where money was not the money we see today. So it was more of like a barter system that used to work back then. But in this book, they explain about how the um, the value of money or like the value of a product or like a item has evolved over the time. So let's say back in the days, they used to trade, let's say, maybe like their animal or like a farm for, let's say, a house. So that's the way of like checking the exchange in value. But nowadays, no one prefers to do that. Why? Because we have a set currency which is universally accepted by everyone, and that's one of the main reasons why people prefer money over settling with any other whatever, like property or like a place to buy or like whatever you can call it. So like even like an item, like let's say if you have a book that you want to sell in return of something else, they generally prefer giving you money only and nowadays. But back in the days it was more like a barter system that used to work. So coming to what I actually read after that, so there's something called as the IOUs, which used to work back in the days where there used to be a buyer and a seller, and they used to have a contract saying that I owe you let's say X amount of farm for in return you have to provide me X Y amount of milk so that I can run my milk business, assuming. So that's how trade used to work. I think that was like the very origins of where trade really started between people, and that pretty much from then onwards, people then started using the checks as a mean of money transfer, and before that, there was also the use of coins. So many people think that gold is like basically like God's money, which is very true because gold is found as a natural resource in like the earth's crust or even deeper. So basically, this form of material was generally treated as something which is valuable and could be used as a means of exchange for anyone to get in return or like pay so that they can get a certain item or like a certain service or a product, anything. But later on, coins were not like easy to handle because obviously you can't make high investments through just coins. So from then onwards, there used to be the concept of checks, which then evolved, basically where you can give X amount of check with your signature, and then you can just collect it by a lender who can just pay, give you the money, like a bank or something like that. So back in the days, I believe there was like a place where you can get this money from, based on like the person's bank account or something like that. And then after that, pretty much it's like all everything was digitalized back in, like, I think it started like in 1980s, where like everything digital money has basically gained popularity, and people preferred digital money over all these physical cash, because they preferred it as like a secure medium of storage. And then yeah, so like there's also the importance of credit cards, debit cards, which increased during the 1970s and 80s, which is then talked about in this book. So that's basically like what I've learned in like the basics of money, about how the value evolved over time. But the base idea is that why did this money even came in the first place? It is just to provide a means of exchange of value, of equal value. So let's say if you're now let's say the problem with barter trading back then was that you cannot really measure if both the products being traded are of fair or equal value. So one might lose or one might gain, but we don't really know how to measure this. That's when money as a currency emerged in many nation states all across the world. So many like different countries had different currencies. Like the French people had their own form of coins, and then the Chinese people have their own form of coins where like they used to trade in, and it just differed across each country. So that's one thing. And when I've read the glimpse of this book, and I've also checked out a glimpse of other chapters which are going to come up in the next few, which I'll pretty much be. I'll actually also think. I feel like I should make a full video on how what I really understood from this book. Maybe it could be like a bit more longer one, not like this one, but because in that I can basically cover whatever I've understood, whatever knowledge I've accumulated in this book, rather than you just going and reading it. So it'll save your time, and it'll also provide you valuable content from my side. And yeah, so that's what I need. I want the end goal for me is to always provide you guys valuable content by encouraging you to understand more about this topic, because finances is something that many people neglect and not know much of, because and also shy away sometimes. But this is a very important topic that many people underestimate. I don't know why, but it should be like the utmost priority for anyone like who has to manage their finances at a great scale, because without this there's nothing basically. So the world runs over this. So I feel like this is like the single best investment you could make to refresh your financial knowledge and update your understanding about the current ways in which money works and how people are earning money in different ways. Because this is pretty much like a roadmap. It can give you like an idea of what and where money is used and why is it coming in the first place. So in the later on chapters, I've also realized that they're talking about how banks work, how inflation works, how recession works, and even how like hyperinflation works, where like the prices immediately shot up and the standard of living suddenly increases. So I don't know as of now what exactly is the reason behind that, but as I progress through these chapters, I would understand more on what exactly are these chapters actually meaning, because they can apply to real life contexts and insights, which are again explained in this book itself through visualized imagery and all this stuff. And the great part is I could understand all this knowledge by just reading like 10 pages in this book. So just imagine if I read the whole book, which is of, I guess, around 200, I believe. And yeah, so 250 pages. So imagine how much knowledge I would be accumulating in 250 pages of knowledge and how much I can transfer it to you. So that's the main point. So for those of you who are really passionate about reading such stuff, you can go and check out the website, or I will also update you on what exactly I've learned so far, and would also check on what other chapters I can explain about in the upcoming videos. So until then, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.